Welcome to Employment Law This Week. I'm George Whipple. Our top story, drivers for personal transportation company We Drive You, who drive Facebook employees to and from work, have voted to unionize with the Teamsters. This brings the total to more than 450 shuttle drivers in Silicon Valley who have joined the union in the past 12 months. And last week, Seattle became the first city to give on-demand drivers the right to unionize over pay and working conditions. Hundreds of drivers in the city pushed for this legislation, which could kickstart the unionization effort for these kinds of jobs across the country. Adam Abrams has more on this trend towards unionization.
The largest reason that we are seeing a push towards unionization of shuttle drivers within tech companies really is quite simply that union membership is down all over the country. It's at its lowest level within the private sector in history, and unions are desperate to find any place that they can find new dues-paying members. The obvious targets of that are going to be any successful company with a growing workforce. The tech industry or the gig economy has largely been exempt from union organizing until recently, due to the fact that, for the most part, they have an independent and entrepreneurial workforce that doesn't see a value in union organizing. Shuttle drivers and other low-wage support workers who support the tech industry really are viewed by the Teamsters and other organizations like Silicon Valley Rising and similar labor cooperatives as a possible foot in the door.
Fired USC football coach fights back. Steve Sarkisian has filed a wrongful termination lawsuit in California State Court against the University of Southern California for, quote, kicking him to the curb. The ex-football coach was fired after repeatedly coming to work intoxicated. He claims that the university discriminated against him for his alcoholism, which he alleges is a disability, and did not take into account his efforts to get treatment. No Blackberry overtime pay for cops in Chicago. A federal magistrate judge in the Northern District of Illinois ruled the time spent by Chicago police officers actually answering emails on their Blackberries was work eligible for overtime. However, monitoring of their Blackberries was not work because the officers were still free to use the time predominantly for their own benefit. Regardless, the judge found that the city did not know the employees were doing any work, and the officers failed to report it, so the workers were not entitled to any compensation. There is reportedly a plan to appeal. In mid-2015, the Wage and Hour Division requested information regarding the use of portable electronic devices by employees outside of scheduled work hours. So this issue is one to watch. Dollar Tree agrees to an $825,000 fine for OSHA violations. Retail store Dollar Tree has accepted a hefty fine as well as continual monitoring for its stores across the U.S. This settles a wide range of complaints arising from 13 different OSHA inspections. The agency is increasingly using this tactic of issuing repeated citations for the same violations at different company worksites. This could have a much bigger impact beginning next year when OSHA fines are set to rise about 80%. Finally this week, the EU moves forward with its first ever cybersecurity law. The European Commission recently agreed on new cybersecurity rules for critical infrastructure operators and multinational internet service providers. This comes as part of the larger EU cybersecurity strategy announced in 2013. The new law will mean additional breach reporting requirements and compliance measures for many digital service providers. After the agreement is ratified, member states will have 21 months to change national laws and another 6 months to identify critical infrastructure operators. We'll certainly be keeping an eye on this story as it develops. That's it for Employment Law This Week. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in the new year on Monday, January 11th, with a special update on the new laws going into effect in 2016. Happy holidays, everyone, and we'll see you next year.